Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm going to teach you 10 styling tips for layouts. So what you want to do first is you want to write out the quote or the verse that you're going to be emphasizing. So this is a little quote here that I'm using from the Bible, from Scripture. It's "Faith can move mountains." And it basically is from Scripture, where Jesus talks about if you have faith as tiny as a grain of a mustard seed, that you can move mountains. So this is where that quote comes from. So what I do first when I'm determining what my design is going to look like is I first decide which words I want to emphasize. And once I decide that, I number them. So 1 would be like the biggest number or the biggest word that I'm going to make my word to be. So I'll put a 1 by it, okay? And then I'll say, well, I want mountains to be maybe a little big too, maybe not quite as big as faith, so I'll number it in number 2. And then can and move, they can be small, so I'll just number those both 3. Okay, so they're going to be smaller words that I emphasize. And then what I do is I will create like a little box, and you call this a thumbnail sketch. You create like a little box, and this is not where you're going to do anything fancy, but you're just deciding how your words are going to look. You know, it's not going to be the exact look or style, but you're just kind of thinking, okay, I want faith to be big, and I'm going to have can move to be, they're going to be small here. I'm going to have it small in the middle, and then I'll have mountains down here. So thumbnail sketch is just gives you the idea of what you want to do with your words, how you want to lay them out. It's very basic. It's not the final draft. It's just to get that brain going and getting ideas going. So this is what you do. So first thing is you decide what your quote's going to be, and then you decide how big the words are going to be in your quote. Okay? So once you do that, then you're going to decide, okay, what style letters am I going to do? Am I going to do something that is like a script? Am I going to mix it with a different style? I generally like to mix mine with maybe 2 to 3 different styles of lettering. Okay, so what for me, like right now, I'll probably maybe do this in a script font. So something script. And then I'll probably just do this like maybe in a serif font. And then these will just be like in a sans serif font. Okay, sans serif, remember, means without embellishments. Okay, so when I go ahead and do that, then I'm gonna start with my design. So I'm gonna go ahead and if I want, I can still make another box just to make sure I'm staying within certain parameters, or I can just start lettering. So I will go ahead and start my design. I go ahead and I go, okay, well, I'm going to do a script, so I'm just going to write it out. And this is where, if you're using grid paper, it's good, because then you can start making sure that you're keeping everything nice and even, straight. But just for time's sake, I'm just going to show you on this paper. So faith, and then I'm going to make can move small, so I might make a little banner here if I want. And these are the embellishments or little illustrations you can add also to your designs. And because I'm doing this in pencil, we can always erase if we feel like it's not quite right, or if it looks a little off. So faith can move, and then mountains is going to be here. I might make myself a little line just so I can try to make sure I'm not going off too much. I'm not going to get, crooked. So I'll go ahead and leave that there and erase it later. So mountains, I'm going to go ahead and just start writing it. And the fun thing with lettering is you can do all sorts of mixed styles. So if you want to do capital and lowercase, you can do that. If you want to mix it with script, you can do that as well. All right, so there is my design that I've done. Faith can move mountains. And once I look at that and I just say, okay, well, do I want to add anything else to this design? It's nice, it looks good, but maybe I want to add some thickness to this line. Instead of just making it a plain script, I'll just like maybe add this thickness on one side. So that's kind of where you start letting those creative juices flow and decide how you want to add to your lettering. Keeping it just like it was, just the plain script is fine too. It doesn't have to always be so decorated or so busy. So Faith can move mountains. All right, so that's the design that I've decided on. And then if I think, okay, well, maybe I'm going to add maybe a little mountain, because I think a mountain would be kind of a cool thing. You can add it up here. You could add it to the side. I mean, it's really up to you how you want to do it. Like you could start, do something like that. And then just add these little snow caps. So there's an idea right there. And once you're happy with it, then you go ahead and you ink it. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is how it looks after I ink it. Once the ink is dry, I will erase all the pencil marks. I can go ahead and fill this in here just to give it a little bit of something. Or you can just leave it as it is. So this is just the fun part of lettering, just getting that design how you want it, messing around with it, doing a different version of it. Maybe you want to see how it looks in a different style, totally different style. So this method of just kind of, laying out what you want, making a thumbnail, is to help you decide, what you want. Do I want to make it simple? Do I want to make it with a ton of different font styles? So in this example, we used 1, 2, 3 different styles of lettering. And so it's all up to you and how you want it to look. So I hope that this was helpful and that it just helps to get you started in knowing what you want to do as far as laying out a design for your lettering. And, using little illustrations in your lettering. When I say that word, don't be afraid. I'm not expecting you to be this amazing artist, but if you know how to doodle, if you can, pick up a pencil and just draw and look at something, you can doodle most any basic shape like mountains. So if you have questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. You can also leave questions in our Facebook group and I can answer them there. So I hope this was helpful and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, I thought I would show you the final one. So there it is. Okay, that's how it looks all done. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.